Well, as I made mention of it in one of my last videos, I had an overrun of fungus gnats at my house. It was mostly centered in my plant room where I keep the plants. Most of these have already gone out for the summer. I suspect that amaryllis that I had there for a while. But I checked over all of my plants in the other rooms, and nothing seemed to feel like it had a horrible infestation. I mean, I saw an occasional gnat or two, but I have those little butterfly stickies that I stick here and there sometimes if I suspect something, but I couldn't find the reason why I seem to have so many. And I know, we've all complained about it. You sit watching TV at night, watching YouTube, and one will fly by your face, or one flies by the computer or TV screen, and that's annoying. But then when you start noticing, I've seen 3 tonight, I've seen 4 tonight, what's wrong? So I double-checked and double-checked a lot of my plants, and I couldn't find any source. But it didn't take long before I found what my problem was. And truly, it ended up being my own fault that I wasn't careful in what I did. So take this little video as a forewarning. If you should have any infestation, don't be like I did, bringing in soil to your plant room indoors. Now these plants, my aglaonema, were in there in the plant room. I brought them out of the plant room because they're so young and tender, and I put the little butterfly stickies in them to try to catch anything coming out of them, which I did, and now they seem to be free of any infestation. And you see how long, if you refer back to an old video, I've had them forever. I don't want to lose them. But I finally discovered the reason. It was from bags of potting soil. I got them out of that room quickly. I had them stored in these little plastic tubs, and I started checking over the bags and looking over them, and I found that they were punctured. Now, I can only assume this came from shipping, manufacturing, whatever, but they were just like it was almost a stapling sensation, like they'd been stapled inside of a box and were punctured. So that allowed wherever they were, in warehouses, wherever they were, they could be infested. In and out, in and out, in and out. The fungus gnats had pure reign for all this new soil. So I immediately took it outside. I wasn't going to waste all this soil. I just would not be using it for indoor plants. So the ones that were unopened, I went ahead and cut them open and dumped them into bins that I have for outdoor use, for weeds, for soil outside, and soil mixing. I expected like this big cloud of gnats to come out, but that didn't happen, or at least visually I couldn't see that happen. But I poured it out. I know the little fungus gnats are kind of clear, almost a glycerin type little larva, so they're very hard to see to the naked eye. If I had a magnifying glass, I would probably be able to see something in that soil, but I couldn't. But I put them in bins and set them out in the sunlight. And I fluffed the soil for days and days and basically set the gnats free. If they wanted to be outside, that's fine. They can be outside. They're just not going to be inside my house and getting into my indoor house plants. I don't know if you can see anything, but I can't see anything. There was a slight breeze, and it made some little roots and things wiggle, and that kind of makes you suspicious. but I had several bins that I set it out, and every few days I would stir and stir. And I took them in when it rained because I didn't want them to get full of water until they were all dried out and free, because the dry soil kills the larvae. But eventually I got those all freed up and felt like I was free to use this soil for outdoors, which, because the gnats are going to just be out in the open anyway. Now, my solution to cure inside was to use this Zevo flying insect trap. You may have seen it. It's one that just plugs into an outlet, but it has this long sticky trap that goes inside of it, and that worked for me very, very well. It basically cured my infestation within just a few days. And believe me, I had an infestation. That is only 24 to 36 hours of trapping. Isn't that ridiculous that I didn't realize this was going on? And all from taking bags of soil indoors, which will never happen again unless they're sealed in plastic. I have the refills. Right here is what you put them in. I unplug the unit from the wall. Easy as pie. And then all you do is get a grip and then just pull it out. See, this part that you put back into the wall, clean. This part you can discard with all the little carcasses of the little annoying beasts. And this is the refill. It goes in just like it came out. So here you go. Put that right down in the center. Whoops. Just line up the two sides. Put it right down in the center. Clamp it in. And you can see it's back in there. And then you just get the tab and pull it off. Whoops. Sorry. I yanked just a little too hard. Let me hold the top. There you go. And we've got a clean new one to plug back in and get started. So here we go. In the plant room. And so I just plug it in right back where it came from. And there we go. It's on again. The light's shining. It'll glow all night and day and catch all the rest. I also have one in here next to the window, and that glows all day and night and keeps the pests out too. It greatly reduces all the adults so they can't party and have another shindig in my potted plants. But that's how those Zevos work. The old one, we can just take it, put the paper back on it as nicely as we want to, and put it in the trash. Now, I am not getting rid of the soil that I had in those bags. I'm here inside the shed. The buckets that I've transferred the soil into, I had to protect them from rain and everything. So I set them out during the day and let them get in the sun, and then every now and then, like, turn the soil with a spade so that I guess what my intentions are is to set the stupid gnats free, because there's nothing I can do about them congregating outside. They're just not going to do it in my house. So I'll use this soil for outdoor planting, but I won't put the systemic in it. The systemic would hurt the outdoor bugs and things that you don't want to hurt. Now, I don't have bees and everything inside my house. I don't have to worry about that. But this particular soil, it will still be good soil, of course, but I just have to set free all of the bugs that are inside it. So that's basically accomplished, and this is usable now. But believe me, I need to go buy some soil for indoor planting, and I will inspect thoroughly the bag before I purchase it, because it will not have any holes in it.